Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en vivo. Tonight we are bringing you Game 3 of the 1906 Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño between the Amigos de Guánica and the Cotorras de Río Grande. One of the vagaries of the way the playoff series work is that you may not always have your top pitcher available for game one. He might be tired. You might be on a strict rotation. Your manager may not want to use him in that role. And so instead, sometimes when you get around to using your best pitcher, it's after your team has been shelled 9-0 in game 2. This is the first phase of the Campeonato Nacional Puertorriqueño. After today, the game shifts to Guánica, where they will play as many as 4 games, depending on how well Guánica can do in the next, about 36 minutes of our lives together. And Guánica has turned to their savior, Eunosto Gutiérrez, a lefty, actually only 34, but very much the veteran of his rotation. After a couple iffy years, he basically returned to form this year with an ERA under 2, although his record doesn't quite show it, and during the postseason has been their hero. I believe he has pitched somewhere in the neighborhood of 68 innings with a 1.2 ERA, very comparable to the postseason play of his opponent in today's game, Río Grande ace and presumptive Excelentísimo for 1906, Carmelo Castillo La Llamarada, who dominated in this season. He went 37-8, an ERA under 1, a whip under 0.75, almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, 427 strikeouts over the course of the year. Absolutely ridiculous performance. Gutierrez won his, I believe, back in 1902 in Liga Hostos. And here in Game 3, it is up to him to try and make this series somewhat less of an embarrassment. Unfortunately, that means he will have to deal with the Irishman who crushes lefties, Riley O'Sullivan, the third baseman for the Cotorras, who has been absolutely lethal to southpaws and will be facing one for the first time this series. So let's go to the field. To nobody's surprise, it's still raining, still a sellout crowd, 29 degrees, the wind blowing in from right today. And while the Guánica lineup is the one that has not changed this time, please do pay attention when we get to the Cotorras. You might notice some difference in where the players are located. So we begin. First, the starting lineup for the visiting Amigos de Guánica. Leading off and playing left field, number 23, Mario Franco. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 3, Noé Pérez. Batting third, the third baseman, number 44, Sebastián Martín. Batting fourth and catching, number 29, Ryan Higgins. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 86, Emmanuel Vargas. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 25, Cern Larson. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 14, Eleuterio de la Cruz. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 35, Gaudencio Ojeda. Batting ninth and playing center field, number 24, Osmundo Mercado. Pitching tonight for the Amigos de Guánica, number 31, Eunosto Gutiérrez. And now the starting lineup for your Cotorras de Río Grande. Leading off and playing second base, number 34, Tito Alvarado. Batting second and playing center field, number 18, Cosme Tejeda. Batting third and playing left field, number 23, Alarico Sauceda. Batting fourth and playing right field to run the table of the outfield, number 33, Raul Alzate. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 2, Riley O'Sullivan. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 8, Jesus Torres. Batting seventh and catching, number 10, Rafael Cepeda. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 15, Marcos Michaca. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 6, Sam Rigby. Pitching tonight for the Cotorras de Río Grande, number 41, Carmelo Castillo. 6 wins and no losses over 67 innings, an ERA of 1.21, 78 strikeouts to just 15 walks during the postseason. Castillo has a slider, curveball, and sinker shaped around an excellent changeup. He's a bit of a hard thrower with great ground ball contact skills. Against him, somebody like Franco should ordinarily be toast, but who knows what could happen here. Let's get this game underway. Let's see if Guánica can at least leave for home with one victory under their belt. As we see the pan around, we can see the green shirts. In the audience, the Cotorras fans have been absolutely mesmerized during this series. Franco had the high water mark of the Guánica lineup with 234, and he goes down swinging here on just 4 pitches. An auspicious start for La Llamarada, who blazes a sinker by him. Here comes Noé Perez, also not doing well during the postseason. He extends the at-bat to a full count before drawing a walk. Nicely done. Just the 16th that Castillo has offered during the postseason. Puts a man on with 1 out. Sebastián Martín coming up next. He's been one of the few offensive lights in this lineup here. Let's see. During the season, Noé Perez actually stole 56 of 78. Let's see if he tries it here. Sebastián Martín takes that one, and Noé Perez will be caught stealing. The connection between Castillo and Cepeda remains strong. You don't steal on the first pitch anymore. People have known this for a while now. It's strategically a bad idea. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, Martín now has to try and make chicken salad out of you-know-what as... Oh, God! That hit him hard. Go to the replay there, and it catches him on the leg. A changeup, luckily. And he seems fine with it. He will go down to first base. That'll bring up Brian Higgins, 4 for 19 in the postseason. He's been having his issues. He was added to the lineup for Game 2, and so far has not rewarded his team with a whole lot of confidence. Can he come through with some 2-out magic here? Sebastián Martín also caught stealing. He didn't try to steal on the first pitch. We will say that for him. But it did not matter. In the end, 2 runners and neither one able to even make it to second. Guánica will have to shift their approach if they want to succeed here as we head into the bottom of the first. Eunosto Gutiérrez, the lefty, will take the mound here for the first time. Unlike Castillo, he does not tend to rely on the strikeout, but he has done very well. 5 wins and 2 losses, ERA of actually 1.05. Just 8 earned runs over his 68 2/3 innings. 31 strikeouts to 16 walks. Eunosto Gutiérrez has, wait for it, a slider, curveball, sinker, and changeup. Unless I'm very, very wrong, and we're going to check this right now live on air so you can know that we take this seriously. If I remember correctly, there have been 3 playoff no-hitters so far in this season. And one was, in fact, by Eunosto Gutiérrez. And as it turns out, I am incorrect. There were only 2, both in Liga Hostos. Felipe Munguia no-hit the Marineros de Barceloneta in the first round, despite walking 5 of them, and lost anyway. On the same day, Eunosto Gutiérrez pitched a 5-hit shutout against Ponce, and then 3, 4, 5 days later, no-hit the Señores to win the series. Of course, he received the Ilustre for that series. He will face Tito Alvarado, who is one of the fastest men on either team. 13 stolen bases so far. Great table setter. We saw how in Game 2 he turned a walk, a steal, a sack bunt, and a ground out into a run in the first inning. And here he is out on one pitch. That sinker humming by. He puts it in play, but it's a fly out to Osmundo Mercado over there in center field. Here comes Cosme Tejeda. 1-2 count for him. He strikes out. 30-second strikeout for Gutierrez. That sinker once again slips it by him, and he will now face Sauceda. It gets harder as he goes up the lineup all the way to Riley O'Sullivan at fifth, I would say. 2-2 count for Sauceda, known as Amiguito, and he strikes out. Gutierrez showing up strong in the first inning here as he saws his way through the top of the Rio Grande lineup. The question is, how long can he keep it up? We have seen that Guánica pitchers, basically anybody who faces Rio Grande, tends to falter in the late innings, even if they are doing a good job. Ryan Higgins will lead off the top of the second against Castillo, who took 15 pitches to get through it with a walk and a strikeout, as well as a hit by pitch. A 2-1 count for Ryan Higgins. Knocks that one to O'Sullivan at third. He takes his time making the throw, but it's there. Higgins down, and that's one out. That brings up Emmanuel Vargas. Despite a 3-run homer against Gurabo, he has not generally done well in the postseason, and on the 1-1 count here, he flies it out to Tejeda, who has plenty of time to run for it. Out number 2. A lot of those weak flyouts, especially that one on a curveball that should have been smashed, but they just cannot seem to time up Rio Grande's pitching at all. Here comes Cern Larson to try and extend this inning. 2 outs, bases empty. First pitch to him. Hits that one to Rigby at short, and Rigby will throw to first to complete the inning. A much better inning from Carmelo Castillo, much more in command of the lineup there. He sets them down in order, and the Cotorras have a chance here with their Heartsmen coming up. Especially against Gutierrez. If Alzate can get on to lead off, things are going to be immediately dangerous for Eunosto Gutiérrez. Alzate has cooled off, but he was one of the strongest parts of the offense here. And somehow, instead, he goes down as the third strikeout for Eunosto Gutiérrez. And now he will face, again, I keep saying it, but we've been waiting for this showdown. Riley O'Sullivan has a job because he can crush lefties. This is what he does. His overall OPS is 566. During the season, that's about as well as he did. He hit 13 homers. 12 of them were off lefties. This is what he's made to do. And on the 2-2 count, he cracks that one hard. It goes to short. De La Cruz has it, throws to first, and O'Sullivan is retired. You heard how hard that was hit, right? A slider hit, 131 kilometers per hour, and everyone got lucky that was hit directly into the ground. 2 outs on the bases empty for Jesus Torres, who is doing even better. OPS of 824, and you know what we say, if the OPS is in the Middle Ages, he's doing quite well. He walks Torres, that's the first base runner there, wants no part of him. Sliders and sinkers all the way down to face Rafael Cepeda, the rookie catcher, who hits that one to Larson at second. Larson throws overhand to first, and that is out number 3. The side's retired. We are through 2, and the game remains knotted at 0 after just 1 walk in the bottom of the second. Gutierrez and Castillo so far both pitching like the aces they are, as that high changeup was smashed to second there by Cepeda. De La Cruz will lead off the next inning, the shortstop, who has shown some flashes of brilliance at the plate during this series already, against Carmelo Castillo, who is at 23 pitches over 2 innings. 2-1 count for Castillo. De La Cruz bounces that one into left field. Sauceda can't quite make it, pulls up short, and that's the first base hit of the game for the Amigos. You can see there, Sauceda doesn't quite get the route right. And he'll be on base to lead off the inning. Let's see if they can do something with it. Gaudencio Ojeda, currently in a big slump. He has not been helpful to his ball club. Here, he attempts the sac bunt, and it's successful. He moves the runner over to second, just barely, to a good play from the pitcher. Castillo getting over there and throwing to first. De la Cruz will take second on that one, and Osmundo Mercado will try to move him over further. He's done even worse, and unsurprisingly here he strikes out. That's Castillo's 80th strikeout of the postseason, as he now faces Mario Franco, who for some reason has been allowed to continue batting leadoff despite truly bad postseason performance. With a man on second and 2 outs. Let's see if he can do any better. Nope. It's a drop third strike, though. Cepeda has to throw it to first, and just barely gets the play there. So they will strain the runner at second.
Strike 3.
But there are some possibilities here. Rio Grande may yet make a lethal mistake in this game. Eunosto Gutiérrez takes the mound here for the bottom of the first, 2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts and a walk. He will face Michaca, Rigby, and Alvarado. Michaca, the Cuban designated hitter, enjoying a dignified end to his career, possibly with a championship title at the end of it. I believe he won one back in the Cuban leagues as well. Here, Michaca puts a hell of an at-bat together, and he swings through. Not only does that get through the third baseman's legs there, but Franco tries to scoop it, and it goes right through his as well. Michaca will end up at second base on the error, as neither Martin nor Franco was able to bring it in. And Eunosto Gutiérrez has given up his first hit. Now he's got to deal with a man behind him with no outs. Here comes Sam Rigby, the shortstop. Goes for the first pitch, bounces it perfectly down first, and he beats the throw somehow. Larson had to make sure he had the ball. It was squirting loose from his glove, and the throw doesn't quite make it in time on a beautiful drag bunt there. Runners on the corners with no outs for Tito Alvarado, and Gutierrez is very much in trouble. All it took was a couple of innings, and they were in trouble here. As Rigby takes off for second, and he is out. He is caught out by Gutierrez working with Higgins. Now the question, of course, is what happens with this man on third? Alvarado hits that one through. Nope. It goes to Vargas. He'll take it on his own. Alvarado will be out, but Michaca scores. And yet again, an RBI groundout scores the first run for the Cotorras. Eunosto Gutiérrez taking that run on the chin, unfortunately, although it's possible that it would not have scored if not for Franco's error in left. So the Cotorras are ahead, and they don't tend to give up the lead after they've taken it. Here comes Cosme Tejeda to try and add on. He struck out last time, and here on the 1-1 count, chops it to De La Cruz at short. He throws to first, and the inning is over. So 2 hits for a run, and now in the top of the fourth, Guánica, with their 2-3-4 batters, will have to answer. Carmelo Castillo through 3 innings on a hit, a walk, a hit by pitch, and 3 strikeouts. Noe Perez drew a walk last time and then got caught stealing, and here he hits that one to Torres at first, hard, but right into the ground, and he's able to step on the base. He beats Perez to the bag. That's out number 1. Here comes Sebastián Martín. 1 out, and the base is empty. And on the 2-0 count, he hits that one to Alvarado at second. He ranges to his left, picks it up, throws to first. And that's another out. A sinker that time. Ryan Higgins, 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out as well. Takes him to a full count before drawing the second walk of the game there from Castillo. And all of those bunched up. I mean, he did beautiful work there, waiting for it. Let's see if Emmanuel Vargas can build on that. He's 0 for 1 on the day with 2 outs and a man on first. First pitch to him. Higgins trying to steal. Is he actually going to be successful here? Unbelievable. Ryan Higgins has stolen his second base of the postseason. This is a man who went 13 for 33 during the regular season. Absolutely execrable base runner. But there he is on second in scoring position. Let's see if that changes anything for Vargas. Nope, he strikes out. Guánica gets the walk, and that's all. As we head into the bottom of the fourth, and the Cotorras have another chance to expand their lead against Gutiérrez. Sauceda, Alzate, and O'Sullivan coming up. Sauceda hits that one into right field, and we are in danger. Another base hit from the Cotorras to put the leadoff man aboard with no outs. Alzate comes up. He's over one. There's another attempted steal, and boy, both catchers are on their game today. Higgins is able to nail him at second, and there goes that leadoff runner with the bases newly empty and one out. Let's see what Alzate's got in the bag of tricks. And what he does is a very patient at-bat. 8 pitches to draw a walk before Riley O'Sullivan bats. That was smart. Let's see if Gutierrez can get the better of his opponent here. There's another steal attempt, and he is once again caught. Both teams are challenging each other's catchers, and both teams are getting hosed at second base. That's, I mean, if you're a fan of good catching defense, this is the game for you. Riley O'Sullivan on the 2-2 count. Hits that one hard, hits that one deep, hits that one out of here. Riley O'Sullivan with a bucheronazo. Home run number 2 for him during the playoffs, and the Cotorras doubled their pleasure, doubled their fun, but most importantly, doubled their lead. That's what every Cotorras fan knew in the stands could happen at any point during this game, and there it is. A home run to right field straight away. Hit the opposite way by the man that destroys southpaws. It wasn't even a bad pitch. A slider down and away. O'Sullivan just can see that ball out of the left hand so easily. Eunosto Gutiérrez, now down 2-0, faces Jesus Torres. He hits that one high into left field, wailing out there, and Franco's got it. Once again, an inning ends just one batter too late. Rio Grande adds to their lead, and Guánica now has to chip away 2 runs against the best pitcher in baseball this year. Castillo, at 54 pitches over 4 innings, might be unstoppable at this point. He will face Larson, De La Cruz, and Ojeda. Larson on the 1-2 count. Another drop third strike by Cepeda. He has to go a long way to get it, and Larson beats the throw. Beautiful work. It's a strikeout for Castillo, his 5th of the night. A pass ball on Cepeda, and a reach for Søren Larson. Means the tying run gets to come to the plate as the Great Dane beats the throw-in. Here comes Eleuterio de la Cruz, 1 for 1. 1-2 count. It's that one. Torres has it. It's going to be a double play, I think. No, Larson is able to slide in, and they'll just get the out on the fielder's choice there. Lead runner retired. De La Cruz there got a little bit too trigger happy with the changeup under the zone. With a man on first, let's see if they can move him up. Ojeda comes up. He put down a sac bunt last time. This time it's a rocket to center field. Tejeda unbelievably has it out there. That was hit very, very hard. How it did not escape is beyond me. But that's the kind of luck the Amigos have had this entire series. Everything they've tried to do, every time they put the wood on the ball, it has not gone well. Here comes Mercado. Can he do any better than that? Nope. He strikes out on a sinker, and the Amigos strand another base runner. That is strikeout, I believe, number 6 for Castillo, and Gutierrez back to work here in the bottom of the 5th against Cepeda, Michaca, and Whitby. Cepeda leading off. Hits that one line drive right to De La Cruz, who's there. A sinker there. He got underneath it. Hits it with just enough air to get it off the ground, but not enough to get it past the shortstop. Michaca, who of course had that single stretch to double on the error and came around to score the first run for Rio Grande. He comes back up on the 2-1 count. Hits that one into left center. This time, Franco taking no chances. Runs right after the ball. And it doesn't matter. It's a straight-up double. Marcos Michaca, for the second time today, is on second after his at-bat. Another bloop into left field. No error this time, but Franco proves unable to hold the Cuban to a single. Sam Rigby comes up. He's also 1 for 1. Rigby, the former Guardacosta, had his own double in the third, and he will have another one here. That's down for extra bases and should easily score Michaca. The Cotorras will be ahead 3-0 after that as Rigby goes to third, standing up. It's an RBI triple by the Englishman. And the Cotorras are now in serious business with a man on third, 1 out, and scoring for the third inning in a row. Here comes Alvarado to try and make things worse. The rain starts to fall, the rain stops, and Alvarado, on the 1-1 count, hits that one right to Gutierrez. He throws to first, and Alvarado, with his speed, beats out the throw. 7th hit of the ball game for the Cotorras to bring up Cosme Tejeda. Higgins once again trying to stop. A steal at second, but not for Tito Alvarado. 14th stolen base of the postseason for him, and there are now 2 men in scoring position for Cosme Tejeda. Tejeda hits that one into left field. Franco running catch, throws forward, and he's got it to hold the runner on. Still 2 on and 2 out for Sauceda, who does have a hit in this ball game. He singled last time. Here he flies that one into right field. Let's see if they've got it. They do. And they're able to hold them to just 1 more run. The Cotorras, it's taking more work each time to get that run in. But they're still winning this ball game. And Carmelo Castillo, with 6 strikeouts over 5 innings at the top of the lineup coming up, is just having the time of his life. Franco on the 2-1 pitch. Pops him up. Torres and Alvarado chase each other down to get there. Alvarado wins the foot race, and he's got it. 1 out away. Here comes designated hitter Noé Perez, who's drawn a walk, got it caught stealing, and not much else of note here. Strike 3. And here he gets struck out on a full count sinker upstairs. That's the 7th strikeout of the night for Carmelo Castillo, and he has not finished the 6th inning. He could easily get to double digits tonight. He faces Sebastián Martín, who's 0 for 1. 1-2 count. Martín chops that one on the ground to the first baseman. Torres, he drops it! Martín is able to reach on the error there. You can see Torres thought he was holding on to the ball, and then suddenly it just squirts out of his glove. So with 2 outs and a man on, Ryan Higgins comes up. Will he do any better here? 1-0 count. Lifts that one in the air. Sauceda chasing it, and he's got it with plenty of time. Nothing doing there. Rio Grande's error ends up not hurting them in the least, and they've got a chance to see if they can score 4 innings in a row. With Alzate, O'Sullivan, and Torres up to bat. Alzate 0 for 1 on the day. Gutierrez flagging quickly. 2-2 count, and Alzate strikes out. Swing and a miss there on the sinker. His 4th strikeout of the night. And he now faces the man who victimized them back in the 4th inning for a solo homer. Can O'Sullivan do it again? On the 0-1 count. He hits that one hard, but... oh, Martín drops it again. Another error for Sebastián Martín, who's had several game-killing ones here. And with a man on and 1 out, Jesus Torres probably going for the sacrifice bunt, I would imagine here. 0-1 count, chop to second. They will go to the out for first, so it is basically a sacrifice hit as O'Sullivan takes second base. Brings up Rafael Cepeda, who has not had a great day today, but, you know, hope springs eternal, and the Cotorras seem able to just get whatever they want out of their hitters. But not this time. Cepeda pops up over the infield, and it's De La Cruz's turn to get the can of corn. For the first time since the second inning, Rio Grande does not score. Is this a sign of things to come? Unlikely. The Amigos are probably screwed. But let's see what they can do here in the top of the seventh against Castillo, who has struck out 7. Vargas, 0 for 2 on the day. Can he be the leadoff hitter his team needs? With 9 outs, he strikes out on 4 pitches, a changeup low. Cern Larson comes up next. Can he do any better? A full count for him, and he draws the 3rd walk of the game by Castillo against 8 strikeouts. And Eleuterio de la Cruz comes up. He's got a hit on the day. This could get interesting. As there's an attempt, Larson picked off. That is brutal for the Cotorras. How could he do that? This is you've got a key at bat, you've got a chance to get the inning started, and you do that? Every time we see Guánica play in these games, we're more surprised they made it this far. I mean, we saw the Navegadores lose to Sidra all the way back in the first round, and yes, that was humiliating, but the Navegadores clearly did not look like they wanted to be there. Guánica has made it here on a wing and a prayer, as we've said before. This roster, again, the high watermark was a 234 average. What are we even talking about? And they've made it to the national championship. And this is what they do with it? Sad. 2 outs, base is empty. 1-1 count. De La Cruz flies that one into left field. Sauceda, what a catch! A leaping, running, backwards, no-look catch there to rob Eleuterio de la Cruz of a base hit. It looked like he caught him flat-footed, and yet he was able to make that happen. Incredible. As we head into the bottom of the 7th, Eunosto Gutiérrez, at the very least, has a chance to be the first Guánica pitcher to finish a ball game. But not if Marcos Michaca has anything to say about it. He's already ended up on second base twice this year. This game, I say. And on the 3-1 count here, he pops up. Vargas will have it. Here comes Sam Rigby, who's also 2 for 2 on the day. Will he do any better? Looks like he's going aggressive after the first pitch. That is skied into right center. Is either of them going to get to it? It bounces off the high wall. It could have been worse. It could have been gone. And it's another triple. Sam Rigby with his 2nd triple of the day. Ties the record in Liga Betances. Nobody has ever had 3 triples in a playoff game. At least not one that did it. At least not regulation 9 innings. I believe, let's see. Samuel Rigby bounces the ball off the wall for another base hit. So, man on third and 1 out. Tito Alvarado, 1 for 3, has a chance here to make it 4-0. Alvarado goes to a full count and draws a walk. Gutierrez, with his 3rd walk of the night, has runners on the corners with 1 out for Cosme Tejeda. Anything into the outfield should score a run. Alvarado gets caught stealing. Beautiful work from Higgins there. 2 outs, and suddenly the inning should be a little bit easier for Gutierrez. And he gets him. They don't score. Gutierrez's strikeout number 5. Despite the hit and the walk, strands the runner. The Cotorras remain in front, but it's only 3-0. In the top of the 8th, Ojeda, Mercado, and Franco will face Castillo, who's at exactly 100 pitches, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. Can they get anything going in this ballgame? This game is still very winnable. They could do this. They have 6 outs to work with, but somehow, when I see 3 snowflakes in the lineup, and if you're listening and not watching, I mean literally there are 3 hitters whose slumps are being signified with snowflakes. I'm not just saying that about them. When I see those in the lineup, we have a problem. Ojeda on a 3-1 count. He, of course, skied out to center field there, and he gets lucky. O'Sullivan Drops the ball there. Second error of the night by Rio Grande. And that'll put a man on. Ojeda is fast. He's got 16 stolen bases during the postseason. But I have a feeling it's not going to go well if he tries here. Mercado up next with a man on first and no outs. 2-2 count. And Mercado strikes out for the third time today. Mario Franco similarly has had a tough time getting anything going. Can he do any better? Nope. Another strikeout. That's strikeout number 10 for Carmelo Castillo. And here comes Noé Perez, who's 0 for 2. 0-1 count. Skies that one into right field. Alzate's got it all the way. And he makes the catch to retire to the side. Rio Grande's error once again does not hurt them. Guánica strains the runner, and the Cotorras remain ahead. Eunosto Gutiérrez in the bottom of the 8th will face Sauceda, Alzate, and O'Sullivan. Sauceda has gotten a hit off of him. And Franco has it on the running catch. First pitch swing and first pitch out. Here comes Alzate, who's over 2. Alzate takes him to a full count. Cracks that one just past the pitcher to second. Larson has it, throws to first as he turns around. And Alzate is cut down. And here comes Riley O'Sullivan. This might be the last time they face each other. I wonder what Gutierrez will do here. I wonder what O'Sullivan will do here. It'll be a 1-2 count. And he strikes out O'Sullivan. Pretty amazing. I'm going to look up O'Sullivan's splits briefly here. Now these, I'm looking at the regular season, of course. I'm not looking at the postseason splits here. But Riley O'Sullivan against, let's see here, against lefties, struck out 11 times and walked 15. Against righties, he struck out 71 and walked 6. So what I'm saying is, it was very rare for a lefty to strike out Riley O'Sullivan. Sebastián Martín comes up. He is going to try and get something going. 3 outs to score 3 runs and send this to extras. And Carmelo Castillo is not going to take that line down. He's got 10 strikeouts and 3 walks on the night. And if he does his job here, this is the last game he needs to pitch for the year. First pitch to Sebastián Martín. He hits it past Alvarado. Exactly the job he needed to do. He gets on base. A leadoff single, the second base hit on a changeup left over the middle. Here comes Ryan Higgins. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Sebastián Martín lit the match. Can Ryan Higgins keep the flame going? He hits that one hard into center field. Tejeda barely has to move to catch it. That was almost disrespectful, how slowly he walked to be underneath it. Here comes pinch hitter Jose Aguilar, number 5. A pretty good lefty killer, though he's got nothing on O'Sullivan. He's 6 for 22, on base percentage of 407. Can he do something here? A 1-1 count. Skies it into center field once again. Tejeda has to actually run for this one, but not only is he there, it's actually Rigby who makes the catch. And with 1 out left, Cern Larson, who has only been able to reach on error, and the drop third strike. You know, it's too bad they don't track those, because I'm wondering how many players can say that they have not reached base legitimately in one game, but they have reached on a drop third strike and an error. He goes after the first pitch. It's chopped to the ground. Alvarado has it. He rights himself. He throws to first. And that ends the ball game. Rio Grande shuts out Guánica on 2 hits, 3-0, and coincidentally takes a 3-0 lead in the series. As they head to Guánica in a couple of days, Carmelo Castillo has really dominated exactly how he has done throughout the entire postseason. Interesting stuff. Eunosto Gutiérrez, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 runs, all of which were earned, and of course the homer from Riley O'Sullivan, his second of the postseason. Over 8 innings, Eunosto Gutiérrez takes his 3rd loss. Carmelo Castillo, who may have just ensured he doesn't have to pitch again for the year, takes his 7th win. 9 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, over 125 pitches. Beautiful work. Also, very interesting to me is the fact that uh, Michaka and Rigby really showed up for the Cotorras. Between the two of them, they're almost responsible for like the majority of the runs here. Michaka scored two of them. The other was O'Sullivan on the homer, of course. And the other thing I want to shout out is how good the catchers were in this game. Higgins looked overmatched against Alvarado, but actually, he caught 4 or 5 runners, and Higgins himself was the only Guanica runner able to steal a base. This game comes out on, I believe, Bastille Day, July 14th. We don't need to get into anything more than that, but what we will say is we hope to have the rest of what looks like the third or fourth sweep in a row in the Campeonato Nacional recorded and ready for you so that on Friday, July 18th, we can officially begin the Copa Mundial. That's our hope, at any rate. Until then, as always, this has been Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en vivo. Gente, buenas noches, gracias mil, y Dios les bendiga.